Welcome to this Excel Mastery series. In this first lesson, we are starting with the basics, what Excel is, how it works, and the main parts of the Excel windows. By the end of this video, you will feel at home in Excel and ready to start working like a pro. So, what is Excel? Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet program used to store, organize, calculate, and analyze data in rows and columns. It allows you to perform calculations with formulas, create charts, and manage information for personal, business, and academic purposes. So the purpose of Excel is for data entry, as you can see here, for data entry, for calculation, for analysis, and for charts. So these are the key points in this definition of Excel. Now, let's go to the interface. The interface of Excel includes the workbook, worksheet, and cells. Workbook is the entire Excel file. When you think of workbook, you see workbook as a container that contains everything in the Excel. You can see workbook as an exercise book or of any book. Then a worksheet as the pages in the book. So workbook is the entire Excel file that contains multiple pages. Each page is a worksheet. So everything here now is a workbook. All these things you are seeing here, they are all workbook. Then inside this workbook, we have the worksheet. From here, where I can input my data is the worksheet. This area is known as worksheet. So worksheet is a single sheet inside the workbook. It's made up of rows and columns where you enter your data. Still inside the workbook, we have the cell. And the cell is the smallest unit in a worksheet where you can type data. It is the intersection of a rows and columns. Here is a cell. A1 is a cell. A2 is a cell. A3 is a cell. C1 is a cell. So let's move over to the screen overview, which is the title bar. Here is the title bar. This area is the title bar. Title bar, when you save the workbook, where the name appear is the title bar. Like here, I have saved this workbook now and showing Excel tutorial. Now, the second one here is the ribbon. This is the ribbon. This is home ribbon because I'm in the home menu. This is the home ribbon. And inside the home ribbon is divided into groups. This is clipboard group, font group, alignments, number, styles, cells, and editing. The same thing with the insert ribbon, where we have the tables, illustrations, add-on, charts, sparkle, and the rest of them. Same with page layouts, same with formula, data, review, and the view ribbon. The formula bar. Here is the formula bar. This area here is the formula bar. This is the formula bar. When I input any formula, when I input any data, it appears there. You can see it. This is the formula bar. This area is the formula bar. Then the next thing we have here is the name box. Here is the name box. So the name box is found just above the worksheet. Remember, here is the worksheet, and if you look down here, you see sheet 1. Sheet 1 is active. This is sheet 2. Nothing is in sheet 2. I can click on this plus sign to add a new sheet. So name box is where the form the active, the particular cell I'm working on or that is active, where it appears. So by definition, it displays the address of the current selected cells. Like I am in A1 now and it's showing A1 here. If I am in F4, it's showing F4 in the name box. So the next thing we have here is the status bar. Down here is the status bar. So the status bar is located at the very bottom of the cell of the Excel window. It shows information like the sum, the average, or count of select cells, and lets you switch sheets, switch worksheets. It lets you switch worksheets and view or adjust the zoom levels. That is here, down here. You can switch. We are on page layout. You can switch to normal and watch it down to normal. You can switch to I don't know why it's slow. I don't know why it's slow, but this is exactly what. Okay, let me switch over here. Okay. You can see you can switch. You can switch it. And we'll go back to normal. Let me go back to sheet 1. You can switch from page layout to the normal to the page break view. So remember, in Microsoft Word, we are switching from page layouts to web view and read mode. But here we have page layouts, normal, and the page break view. So the next row we have here is the basic terms. So the basic terms here we'll start with the Excel. Sorry, we'll start with cell. So what is cell? The smallest unit in a worksheet where you can type data. We have explained that before, and we say that the cell is a point of intersection of a row and a column. So here now, this is a point of intersection. This is point of intersection. This is a point of intersection. This is a point of intersection. This is a point of intersection. So this is a point of intersection. This is a point of intersection. So we talk of range. Range, a selection of two or more cells, either in a single row or across multiple rows and columns. So here now, if I select everything here, this is a range. So a selection of two or more cells is known as range. Columns, vertical arrangement of cells in Excel labeled with letters A, B, C is known as columns. So columns are vertical arrangement of cells. A vertical arrangement of cells is known as columns. For example, column B1 spans from this B1 down to B1048576. So if you trace this column now down, if you trace it down to where it ends, you will get this number here. So the next thing we have here is row. The row is a horizontal arrangement of cells labeled with numbers 1, 2, 3. Example, row 5 runs from A5 across to XFD5. So this row 5, it runs from this A5, run from A5 down, run from A5 down to XFD5. So the column is vertical arrangement while the rows are horizontal arrangements. Active cells. When you hear active cells, the active cells are the particular cell you are working on is the active cell. Here now is the active cell. Here now is active cell. Every other thing here we have here, there are cells inside the worksheet. But the one you selected is known as the active cell. If I select here, this is the active cell. And if I select here now, B1 becomes the active cell. If I select here, B5 becomes the active cells. So the next thing we are going over is the section 2, where we'll be looking at the files menu and all the things we have in the file menu. So if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, do well to subscribe and turn on the notification button so that whenever we upload new video, we'll be among the first